Hey, Living Word fam, it's Wednesday. We just wanted to say hello. Zeke, you got anything you want to say today?
Hi. Hi. You got a foot in your face.
Anything else you want to say?
He's really kicking today.
Do you miss church, Beth?
Yeah, I missed you guys. Whoa. Okay, man.
What have you been learning from Jesus lately? Can you tell me?
His power is strong,
What else?
and he does great things.
Okay, we are entering the 5th month of these strange times, and I'm continuing to pray with you and just stand with you in the weariness that I think is settling on each of us at some level. When I was a kid, my parents, they gave me and my sisters an allowance, and we had certain tasks and jobs that we needed to do around the house, and at the end of the week we would get a certain allowance. And my parents did this, of course, to teach us about responsibility, to teach us about stewardship. They taught us about giving to the church. They taught us about saving money, and then they taught us just what it meant to be a wise steward of the gifts we've been given. And there was something that they talked to us a lot about. What are the things that we wanted, and what are the things that we need? And we were in that discussion a lot because my parents said that they would cover the cost of things that we needed for school or sports or some of those basic needs. Of course, food and shelter, they would cover those needs, but things that we wanted, extracurricular things or books or video games or new shoes for basketball or whatever those things were, those would be things that we wanted, and we'd have to use our own money on those. And you can imagine that we got into a lot of debates on what a need really was and what a want was. And we would try to argue with our parents to convince them of our needs. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that defined what needs were, and they gave us an allowance accordingly to care for the things we wanted. So the reason that I'm bringing that up and want to share that with you is because this week I've been thinking about that in terms of the way I've been navigating this season. What do I want, and what do I really need? And I think that these last 5 months have been incredibly refining in determining what I really need versus the things that I want. And I think in terms of our faith, it's been refining. What do we really need, and what do we want? And the bigger question, who is the one to define what we need and want? And of course, that's why we press into the scriptures and continue to pursue the Lord together in prayer, is because we want to align our lives to walk in the ways that God has designed us to walk, and to really walk in the things that He's created for us, and to walk in the things that He has designed us for. He's the one who defines what we need. And to put it simply, all we need is Jesus. But there's a lot of things that we add on to our faith. There's a lot of things that we add on to our story that becomes wants, or that are wants, and we morph them, I think, into needs. And so as God continues to shape us through this time, I just would invite you to think about your wants and your needs, and maybe a work that God is doing in refining and maybe shaping, maybe taking away some things that each one of us have held on to as this is a definite need, and it really isn't. So let's continue again to press in together, learn from this experience, learn from this circumstance, and continue to pursue Jesus, knowing that He's doing a good work and that He loves us. This week I'll be sending out an update on our reopening plan, and I look forward to sharing that with you. And also look forward to being with you again online this coming Sunday. God bless you this week.